What's good, guys? Welcome to the trade recap. Today, we're going over the trade that I took on Thursday. I've not been able to drop any other trade recap, so I'm doing the most recent days of the trade that I've taken so far from last week. So today, on Thursday, we had two trades that we took, which were all L's. We took an L on both the trades, and potentially we missed on two other trades, which could have brought us back into profit eventually. So, probably for this session, we had these 1 hour London highs, 1 hour London lows, 1 hour London lows for our fair value gap as our highest POI, for our fair value gap as our highest POI, and for our highest POI, for the highest, we had this fair value gap is for our fair value gap that we got marked out. So, coming into the market on the 3 minute, market immediately took out the London high, which was no surprise because that was literally the closest high or closest POI or target that market could have easily taken out from. And on top of that, we had an SMT off that break of structure from S&P. Nasdaq took out the high, S&P didn't take out the high, which gave us the S&T to validate the trade. But unfortunately, we didn't get any entry because how I would have loved to take an entry from this trade was to find an OTE off from this whole order block or from the fair value gap, and market didn't retrace to any of those area, on which could have given us potentially a 1:5 on this trade, which we missed out from. So this is the first trade we missed out from. Then going into the market, it took out these lows again. It gave us our 3 minute break structure right around here. And so it's the same scenario. The last person that caused the break, which is this outer block, and putting our stops below the candlestick to form the outer block, then scaling down to the 1 minute to look for OTE, optimal trade entry, off from our target for entry. And then I saw this fair value gap off from this inverse fair value gap because they gave me the BPR balance price range for entry, and unfortunately again we immediately got stopped out, taking our first trade for the day, which was a loss. Not really a loss for me because again I was able to execute precisely and accurately my edge, so I really count it as a loss. I only counted that I only printed negatives, okay? Because I always tell my student your ability to always win is in your ability to execute precisely and accurately your trading strategy and edge with proper risk management, in check psychology, no emotions during trade and all that, and you always see wins because eventually, even though I print negative today, or print negative in my first trade, my next trade can still potentially print a positive eventually. Okay, so first trade was a loss. I took that, waiting again for more uh, opportunities to take a trade from, which we did again. And immediately we got stopped out again. Seeing that I was still following this sell that we missed out from, I was potentially still looking forward to go back and follow the sell trend, and immediately we got this invalidation, and market came again and gave this break below here. I was looking forward to take a sell from here. And I was looking mostly to take a sell because we somewhat had somewhat like an SMT from here on NASDAQ. We had somewhat of an SMT, which I use as my confirmation to say yes, I can take the sell. And so on NASDAQ, which is what I was mostly looking out on, which is my favorite pair to really trade off from, I saw this inverse fair value gap again, wrapped in this fair value gap. All right, and so I was literally looking for entries off from there. So I scaled down to the 1 minute again to look for my optimal trade entry for the sell to continue the first trade that we missed out from. And so I put my entries off from here and my stops right above on this candlestick thereabout. And then for my take profit, literally this last low we had for this day. And market did give us a decent movement to show that yes, we're in check. But I was not able to take any partial because again I was only targeting this low. And as market started, going in the opposite direction, I realized that I wasn't supposed to be in this sell entry. Why? Because we had this sweep again, and we potentially had the break eventually. So immediately we had the break because I was looking forward to switch my positions if market should, give a break off from this this 3 minute break in, or should I say unrated break structure because of this. We took out, swept these lows and all that, and we had the break from it to confirm that this is a liquidity sweep. So immediately market gave us that break. I immediately closed down my loss. I didn't have any wishful thinking or thought that market should, should come back down, to fill in with some stuffs and maybe close it in at break even. I immediately closed out from there and accepted the loss, and I was potentially looking forward for market to come back and give me my buy entry, which unfortunately it did not again. And it just went all the way and took out all the POIs we could have targeted for the buy. So that was basically the trade for the day on Thursday, and how I was able to make nothing. All right, so again, I won't count it as a loss because I was able to execute precisely and accurately my trading edge. I didn't add anything. I didn't, you know, fumble and let my emotions best me on my trade and everything. I executed everything precisely. What could I have done better? I don't know. I don't really know. I've gone over the trade over and over again, and I didn't see no mistakes that I made. I didn't see anything other than that. I was able to execute, and that's just it. All right, that is what makes everything good, because eventually, the whole week is profitable regardless of this. Today on Thursday, on Monday, profitable, on Tuesday, profitable, and that was just it for the week. All right, so see you guys in the next video. Peace.